Welcome to Clear Picture Cares. I'm your host, Jason Noble. And with me today, I have Maria Kelly with AMOR Kitchen. Without further ado, welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Jason.
Well, tell us about what inspired you to be the founder and the executive managing director of AMOR Kitchen.
Well, it was a journey. I was a high school teacher in Charleson County for 15 years.
Thank you.
So, thank you. You're welcome. And I just loved working with the youth. And I was with my mom during her journey with cancer. And she's the one that instilled a love of food and a love of cooking and sharing meals together. So when she wasn't feeling well, a lot of times I would take her food, and that was a way kind of that I could support her. Because you feel kind of helpless in that situation, you know? And so that was just kind of a way that we connected. And I learned about an organization in California that's been doing work similar to this for over 20 years, I think.
Okay.
And I just loved the idea of bringing youth into the kitchen, teaching them how to cook, and then them preparing the meals for people in the community who are sick. And I decided to quit my job eventually and start AMOR.
Okay, so what is the primary focus of AMOR Kitchen?
So we prepare and deliver nourishing meals for people in the community who are sick.
Okay.
About 40 to 50% of our clients are facing a cancer diagnosis, but we also serve people that are challenged with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic, heart disease, recovering from major surgery, really anyone that could benefit from home delivered, nourishing, like really nutritious meals.
So it seems like you're serving the community by helping those that have that need, but then also you're serving the community by bringing these students in to learn how to cook. So what was the thought process behind that as well? I really am fascinated by how you're serving multiple purposes here.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was kind of a natural thing, I guess, because I was a high school teacher for so long, and I think there's a lot of programs that support younger kids. Like there's definitely a focus in elementary schools, which is definitely needed. But yeah, I was a tough teenager. Like I was tough, and I had teachers that I really looked at as mentors, you know, and I think having a place where teens can come and you learn a skill.
Yeah.
And no one can take that away from you the rest of your life. So like learning a skill and being successful at making a meal for someone else is, it's empowering, you know?
It is.
And it like gives the teens confidence, and because that's something that's really hard to have when you're a teenager, you know?
And they could take that skill all the way through their life, which
Absolutely.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Now let's say someone has a need where they can't cook for themselves or they need a nourishing meal. How do they even find out about AMOR Kitchen? How do they go about that?
So we get a lot of referrals through hospitals. So dietitians, social workers, there's a few clinics throughout town that refer people to us, and then word of mouth. I mean, people can just go directly to our website and fill out an application and enroll to get the meals. So as long as they're under a doctor's care and have one of the conditions that we have listed, then we can serve them. Regardless of income, they can get about 80% of our clients receive the program free of cost.
Oh, wonderful.
So they're not only facing like a really challenging health situation, but they might have lost their job because they have treatments to go to every day. They might be retired. So yeah, some of these people are facing food insecurity on top of a cancer diagnosis. So it's just, you know, it's kind of hard to imagine the situation. For me, it's hard to imagine facing all of that, you know, how I'm going to pay my bills and go to my treatments. And so we hope that the food brings them nourishment and also like emotional support, that your community is supporting you, you know?
Well, you take something off their plate by putting food on their plate.
Yes.
Okay, I just thought of that now.
I
Is
love
that
that. Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you wish more people knew about AMOR Healing Kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, 80% of, at least that's the statistic that you hear a lot, 80% of chronic illness that we're facing in our society is lifestyle based. And a big part of that is what we're feeding our bodies. So we just moved into a new location, and before this, we've just been able to bring education kind of in with our volunteers. You know, they learn how to cook, they learn about local food systems, but now we're able to expand and offer cooking classes.
Okay.
So for all of our clients, the cooking classes are free of cost. So they can receive our meals, and then once they're feeling better, hopefully, they can come and take class with us and learn how to continue to eat this way. But also for the community, that we really want to get people excited about being in the kitchen, that it's not like a task or on the to-do list, yes, but it's fun.
It could be fun, yeah, absolutely, and make it fun, and learning together with other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're with Maria Kelly, founder and executive director at AMOR Healing Kitchen. I love the name AMOR. Can you share with the listeners who maybe are not familiar, what is AMOR Healing Kitchen? How did the name come about?
Yes, AMOR, AMOR, that's the Spanish version of love. So yeah, I had really wanted to incorporate my mom's name into the name of the organization, because it's really all inspired, I think, by her. And nothing was fitting. And I was traveling with my husband in India and on a motorcycle in the Himalayas. And I was kind of like hanging on for dear life for a month straight. And I don't know, we kind of reached this valley, and it was majestic. It was beautiful, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And it just hit me like wham. And I was like, oh, AMOR. Like,
I got the name.
Yes. It encompasses, so just the foundation of everything that we do is rooted in love.
Oh, I wish we had just so much more of that. Imagine the world we'll live in if we just had more foundation and the basis in love, right? And giving versus getting. There was a book I read called The Go-Giver. And if you haven't checked it out, listeners, check it out. It's an amazing book. Okay. I'll recommend it to you as well.
The Go-Giver.
The Go-Giver. Okay. Instead of the Go-Getter, it's the Go-Giver. I love it. It's a fascinating, loving book. Well, can you share some stories? I loved your story about just how you came to the name. Can you share some stories with us about the people that you serve?
Yeah.
You could change the name to protect the innocent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I think one probably that I bring up often is sometimes I end up doing a delivery here and there. We have delivery angels, volunteers. We call them our delivery angels. They're the ones that take the deliveries on Fridays to our clients. But sometimes I have to pinch hit, and if we're short. And I did a delivery for this woman who barely had any furniture in her home, and she was taking the bus every day to her treatments, alone, living alone. And I delivered to her, and the deliveries come with a fresh bouquet of flowers.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that are donated by a local florist, Roadside Blooms. And just the look on her face and her words of how supportive, how thankful, I could just tell it was like the bright spot of her day or maybe week, and kind of feeling like she's not alone. That was, it impacted me a lot.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, we had another woman, and she just said that our food got her excited about eating again. She had kind of lost her appetite, and she had drastically lost weight through her treatments. And I just learned that 10 to 20% of deaths from cancer are actually not caused by the disease, but by malnutrition.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, just learned that. So, yeah, this woman had lost a lot of weight rapidly, and she said that our food got her excited about eating. And so she was like eating again. And so, yeah, a lot of like little stories like that.
Well, when they're going through chemo and they're going through treatment, they may not have that appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So to have nourishing food that they actually enjoy and they get excited to have, and they know people are caring about them, which keeps them part of the community as they go through this rough time in their life, I think is. And then also, what was the name of the florist?
Roadside Blooms.
Hey, kudos to you, Roadside Blooms. That's wonderful work that you're doing.
They're
as
in
well.
Park Circle.
And they're in Park Circle.
Yeah.
And your new kitchen is in what part of the city?
Avondale.
All right. Beautiful, growing part of the city. For
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
Now, is there any upcoming events that you have that you would want us to know about?
Yes. So we have a lot of guest chef and cooking classes.
Okay.
So those are listed on our website. We have one about every 2 weeks. And then we have a big event on April 29th, our 5K, yeah.
The 5K, yeah?
The 5K, yeah.
Hell yeah. Gotcha. Hell yeah.
And it is at the beautiful Woodlands Nature Preserve on 61. So that's April 29th. You can just come out and walk. For those that don't know, a 5K is not that far.
It's not.
And you can actually walk it. So we encourage people to come out and walk, if they're not runners. But for those that are runners, we do have prizes.
Can people bring their little kids? Can they bring their pets?
Yep. It's family friendly. Dogs are allowed, but not on the trail.
Okay.
But there's a big area. We have food trucks and vendors, live music, beer, water, acai bowls. We have it all. You have it all.
And so what's your website? Where can people go to find out more?
Yep. It's amorhealingkitchen.org.
Spell that out.
AMOR
Healing Kitchen.org.
That's right.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. Now, if you could leave an impression with our listeners about the value of giving back to our community, it could be the Low Country. We could just talk at that, right? Our community. What would that be?
I think figuring out what you're passionate about, or maybe even your skill set. I mean, there's just always a way to be involved in what you envision, what we envision for our community. And if we're not taking an active role, then we can't expect it to happen. Just like you stepping out and offering this podcast, it's just, we all have a gift to share and a gift to bring community together. And it's that collective community that I think will uplift us.
I love that answer because I love asking that question because I hear such fascinating answers. One thing that you said that resonated with me specifically was, I think when a lot of people think about donating, they think about donating money or finances. But you could also donate your skill. You could donate your knowledge and wisdom around a certain topic. And that could be really beneficial to the community or to the nonprofit or charity. And I think that is something that could be missed.
Absolutely.
So if you're sitting here and you're listening and you're like, well, I have a passion around X, Y, or Z, and I have these skill sets, then that could be something that you could contribute back into that nonprofit or that charity and help the community out.
Yeah. I can tell you because I'm involved with, or part of something that involves a lot of grassroots nonprofits here in Charleston. Almost none of us have nonprofit experience. We just had a passion. We saw something in the community that we wanted to go out and help grow, help support. And so all of us have these different, I was a high school teacher for 15 years. I did not have nonprofit experience. So, having people donate like marketing knowledge and fundraising knowledge and event organizing knowledge, all these things that we don't really have, but are needed in nonprofits. And So yeah, I mean, or if you're a florist and you want to donate flowers, like there's just so many ways to give back and be a part of, um, you know, growing our community to how we envision it.
Well, somebody wanted to get involved in your organization. Where would they go? Either volunteering, donating, like what you're talking about, right? Donating their knowledge, maybe, right? Where do they go to learn more to then take that step?
Yeah, they can go to our website.
Yeah.
Or social media. We're pretty active on social media, Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook. Check out AMOR Healing Kitchen.
That's right.
And the website is amorhealingkitchen.org or ORG, correct?
AMOR. That's the Spanish, not the Italian.
That's right. Now so my family who's listening, I know they listen to everything that I do. Thank you, Mom, Dad.
Oh.
But my father's family's from Puerto Rico. So we grew up with Spanish. That's right. And I will tell you probably know more Spanish than I do. Right? But it was one of those things of that culture. It was a strong culture of family and a strong culture of being within a community, and it's carried throughout my life.
Cool.
Well, you just listened to Maria Kelly at AMOR Healing Kitchen, founder and executive director. Now, if you want to learn more, go to amorhealingkitchen.org. Okay. Also, you could go to clearpicturefinancial.com. Click on Clear Picture Cares, and this is where you can watch this, not only this video and listen to our podcast, but you can also listen to this wherever you find your podcast. This is Jason Noble with Clear Picture Cares. The purpose of our focus is to create awareness, educate to our valued listeners in our community, and engage them on how they could get involved. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And thank you.
Thank you, Jason.